You are now ready to connect to sensors to collect data. Be sure that all of your sensors are turned on and that your Bluetooth receiver is plugged into the USB port on the left side of the tablet. The most common reason for failure to connect to sensors is forgetting to insert the USB receiver. Select the Connect to Sensors button, and you'll see in the message box information related to the sensors as they connect. And upon connecting successfully, the battery voltages will be displayed for each sensor here. Sensors that are fully charged will have green indicators, as you see here. Mid-level charge sensors will be displayed in yellow, and minimally charged sensors will be displayed in red. When fully charged, the sensors should last 3 to 4 hours. When they fall into the yellow range, you have probably between 30 and 60 minutes of use. When they are in the red, you have anywhere from 5 to perhaps 20 minutes of use. When it is in the red, we recommend you finish the trial you are working on and then recharge the sensors, even if just a few minutes in between trials. With the sensors connected, you will notice that the blue Start button becomes active. Select the Start button, and this will open the basic trial information box. Choose the desired trial from the drop-down menu or enter your own using the keyboard. Most often you are going to select baseline straight to begin with for your straight line data collection. Other options here include baseline straight before flexion, lunge left, lunge right, straight after distal inflection, straight after proximal inflection, or uphill or downhill. These will likely be the most commonly used selections. And again, you can also type in your own trial information if you wish. If you're blocking the horse, you can choose the block with which you're doing. You can also select the limb. If you're blocking or flexing the horse, you want to clarify which limb you are working with, the surface that you may be working the horse on. Important to note that selecting the surface is simply a notation that's going to appear on the report for your reference in the future. It doesn't change the analysis in any way by choosing one surface over another. Notes on the horse: if the horse is being ridden, you could add that here if you wish. Perhaps the horse was acting up or being naughty. You could also add that here. The only information that you must enter before the OK button becomes active is the trial information. If you are ready to initiate data collection at this time, simply select the OK button and you will see that data starts to stream across these fields. If you're not ready to trot the horse at this time, you can select the OK button and then select the Pause button to pause data collection. When you are ready to trot the horse, you simply select the Start button to reinstitute the data collection. Now this is not live real data collection here on a horse. This is me simply jogging the sensors in my hand. So your actual data collection will look a little bit different than this, but to give you an idea, once you select the Start button, data should appear to be collected in all 3 fields, in all 3 channels, and it should be synchronous, and you can see in this case it is. The horse should be trotted for at least 25 strides with at least 6 contiguous strides in each direction, meaning before the horse stops and turns around. Jogging a horse down and back on a 90-foot jog strip twice should provide at least 25 strides. Shorter jog strips can be utilized if 6 contiguous strides can be obtained in one direction. Note that the user does not need to use the Pause button when the horse stops and turns around. The program will not select these strides for analysis. The handler should try to move the horse off briskly and avoid tugging on the head or jerking the lead shank. Following data collection, select the Stop button and the Amend Trial Information window will appear. All of this information is similar to what you entered when you began data collection. If you wanted to amend anything, perhaps you accidentally entered the wrong trial, you could change that. If you wanted to add notes on the horse or something about information about the trial, perhaps again the horse was acting up, you could enter that here. Most of the time you're going to select Save and Analyze Now, which is the default in this drop-down menu here, and that will immediately launch into the analysis. This is the most commonly used selection. This will save the data that you just collected and initiate the analysis. Other options in this drop-down menu include Save and Collect Again, which will save the data that you've just collected, but it will not begin the analysis. It will store it so that you can go back and analyze it at a later time, and it will automatically reconnect you to your sensors so that you are ready to open and start a new trial. Save and disconnect is not a very commonly used function. That will save the raw data that you've just collected. It will not run an analysis on it. You can go back and run an analysis in the future on it, and it will leave the sensors disconnected. Discard and collect again, you may use every once in a while, and this will discard the data that you've just collected and set you up to collect another trial right away. It will reconnect you to your sensors so that you can set up a new trial right away. You may choose to use this function perhaps if you've started data collection and you know the data is not going to be good. Perhaps the horse just was not trotting regularly down the jog strip, or perhaps you were lunging and they just completely exploded and you know that you're not going to be able to settle the horse down right away. You may as well stop the data collection, discard it, and set yourself up for a new trial. And discard and disconnect is, again, not a very commonly used selection. This will discard the data that you've just collected and leave your sensors disconnected. So most commonly you're going to save the data that you've just collected and run an analysis on it right away. By selecting the green Go button, you will launch the analysis. Running an analysis to view the report will be covered in Module 3, Generating an Analysis.